All right, so today we're talking about going from one form of the equation to slope-intercept form. Now remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Where remember m is my slope and b is my y-intercept. Okay, so remember the other form we've talked about is point-slope form. Again, where m is my slope, okay, and x1 and y1 are a point, okay, on my line. We have a third form that we haven't spent a whole lot of time talking about, but we have touched on briefly, which is standard form. Okay, but we won't be actually writing to that form. So when we have slope-intercept form, this is great for when I have a slope and a y-intercept, slope and a point. Okay, so we're going to write the equation in slope-intercept form. Given this equation, y minus 4 equals 1/3 x, 1/3 x plus 9. So, first thing I want to do is I want to isolate y. Okay, that means I want to get y by itself. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by distributing that 1/3. So we get y minus 4 is equal to 1/3 x. Okay, 1/3 times 9 is 3. So now that I have that distributed, okay, I still need to get y by itself. So I'm going to add 4 because the 4 is subtracting from x, or from y. And I'm going to add it to the 3. So we get y is equal to 1/3 x plus 7. So now I have this in y equals mx plus b. Okay, so let's try another one. So the first thing I'm going to do is distribute to isolate that y. So we get y plus 6 is equal to, okay, negative 2/3 x, negative 2/3 times 9 is a negative 6. Okay, so now we still want to get y by itself. So we're going to subtract 6 because we have to do the inverse. So we get y is equal to negative 2/3 x. Negative 6 minus 6 is a negative 12. And there we have it in slope-intercept form. All right, so what if we're in standard form? How do I get to slope-intercept? Same process, we're going to isolate the y. Okay, this time instead of having to distribute, okay, I'm going to move the x away first. So I'm going to do its opposite. So we're going to subtract 3x from both sides. I still have 6y is equal to, okay, I can't combine those, so I'm going to do a negative 3x plus 36. Now we're going to divide both sides by 6. And we get y is equal to, all right, so 6 is dividing by both of these. So I'm going to write this as negative 3 divided by 6x plus 36 divided by 6. Now everything can simplify, and so we get y is equal to a negative 1/3, sorry, 1/2 x plus 6. Okay, so we'll do one more of these. So again, I'm going to kind of work with isolating that y. So move my x first by doing its opposite. So negative 6y is going to equal negative x plus 48. We're still trying to isolate that y. So I'm going to divide by a negative 6. And I get y is going to equal, well, I've got a negative 1 divided by negative 6x plus 4 divided by negative 6. So we can simplify, and I get y is equal to whoops, 48, not 4. So I get y is equal to 16x plus a negative 8. Or another way to say this is y is equal to 1/6x minus 8. Okay, so that's if I'm given the equation. Well, now what if I'm given some information? And that piece of information is not my y-intercept. Well, remember we have this form here, right? Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I can just plug into that. Okay, I've got my slope and I've got a point, which is what point slope form gives me. So this is my x1, y1, that's my m. So we get y minus what my y1 is, equals 3/4 x minus a negative 3, which remember when we minus a negative, what happens? Becomes a plus. So from here, all I have to do is isolate the y. So distribute my slope. I get y minus 6 is equal to 3/4 x plus 9/4. Okay, that can't simplify. This is going to be a funky one. It's okay. Add 6 to both sides because we're still trying to isolate the y. And I get y is equal to 3/4 x plus 9/4 plus 6. And that's going to be 33/4. Okay? So that works as well. So when I'm given a point and a slope, I can plug it into point slope form and then solve for y. So let's go ahead and look at another one. What am I given? Well, I'm given a slope of 1/2 and the point 4/3. So we'll plug into point slope form. Okay. Remember our point is always x and y. So we're going to get y minus 3 is equal to 1/2, because that's my slope, x minus 4. Distribute, and I get y minus 3 is going to equal 1/2 x minus 2. Add 3 to both sides, because we're trying to isolate that x. Or sorry, isolate y, so we get y is equal to 1/2 x plus 1. All right. So I did show you in a previous video that we could still use slope-intercept form when we were talking about tables. I could take and plug into my x and y. And I'm still going to come up with the same answer. So I'm going to get 3 is equal to 1/2 times 4 plus b. Well, 1/2 times 4 is 2 plus b. Subtract 2 from both sides to solve for b. and we get 1 is equal to b, which would leave us with y equals 1/2 x plus 1. So either works. My preference is putting it into point slope form over like this over here, but you can do either. All right, so write the equation in slope-intercept form. Well, what do they give me here? They give me 2 points. So I have to first find what my slope is. Okay? So remember, we've got y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and that solves for m. So my y2 in this case is -3 minus a -5 over 0 minus 5. -3 minus -5 becomes +5. So -3 plus 5 is 2. 0 minus 5 is a -5. So my slope is a -2/5. All right, so now I want to write it in slope-intercept form. Okay, so I'm going to take, and I'm just going to use the first point, and I'm going to plug it into point slope form. So we get y minus a -5, which becomes +5, times, or sorry, equals a -2/5 times x minus my x1, which is 5. So we're going to distribute the 2/5, and we get y plus 5 is equal to -2/5 x, or 2/5 x, no parentheses, plus, because a negative times a negative, 2. Okay, so now isolate my y. I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides, and I get y is equal to -2/5 x, 2 minus -3. So I could have just automatically written this one in slope-intercept because they gave me my slope-intercept form here. But if I don't recognize that, I can plug in and solve. Okay. All right, we're going to do one more of these. So first thing I have to do is find my slope. So we get 6 minus 2 over -9 minus 3. 6 minus 2 is 4. -9 minus a -3. Or sorry, minus 3, not minus, is a -12. And 4 divided by -12 is a -1/3. So there's my slope. I'm going to pick one point, plug it into point slope form. So we get y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So my y1, I don't know why I put the 2 there. So we get y minus 2 is equal to, well, we got -1/3 for my slope, x minus 3. Okay, distribute. We get y minus 2 is equal to -1/3 x plus 1. Okay, because -1/3 times -3 is a +1. Add 2 to both sides so we can isolate y, and y is equal to -1/3 x plus 3.